new quarterback drafted 2 overall, Zach Wilson, did a really nice job day one. But Zach, how are you feeling?
My focus is to learn the offense, keep getting better every single day, do what I can with the guys around me. And I think the rest takes care of itself. In this position, the coaches want to play the best player, and that position's got to be earned. I got to go in there and I got to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. And, that'll take care of itself.
He's saying all the right things. Wilson, one of 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round of the NFL draft. Among them, only Justin Fields was taken by a team that made the playoffs last season in the Chicago Bears. Let's bring another Super Bowl champ to the conversation. Why don't we? RC, there he is. How we doing, Ryan?
Doing good. Happy to be with y'all on this Monday.
Yes, likewise. Max, who will be the first-round quarterback to start a playoff game?
All right, I've done a lot of thinking about this.
Oh, boy.
Had Trey Lance because Garoppolo could get hurt and they're really good. But the more I think about it, I got to say, I think it's going to be Justin Fields. I think he has the best shot. And let me tell you why. They go through like Zach Wilson, and that's a tough division. The Jets aren't good. Trevor Lawrence, the Jags aren't good. I'll leave Trey Lance to you guys. Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback. Bill Belichick loves rookie. And plus, you got to beat out Cam. People just sleeping on Cam.
Get to your guy.
Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Let me say something. Chicago Bears were in the playoffs a couple years ago. They haven't had a losing season for a minute. They have a lot of talent on the defense. And what has really been the problem recently? I'm not so enamored with the NFC North. We'll even see if Aaron Rodgers is going to be in Green Bay. He might not even be on the Packers. I'm not looking at the Vikings or the Lions like they're world beaters. The problem with the Bears has been the offensive line. They can't protect the quarterback. So you know what you had? You had 2 dudes on the roster. You had Nick Foles, who could throw the ball accurately down the field if you give him a pocket to step up into, which they didn't. He was on the run for his life, and he can't run. Bad combination. And you had Mitch Trubisky, who could run like hell, but that's about it. Couldn't throw the ball accurately down the field, right? Well, in Justin Fields, who, to quote my guy, Roy Jones from back in the day, y'all must have forgot. Justin Fields came out of high school along with Trevor Lawrence, 1A, 1B, however you want to say it, valued prospect, right? What did he do in college to cool people off to him? He was awesome. So he can throw the ball accurately down the field, and he can move. If you're talking about a Bears team that doesn't get below 500 because of that defense, which they haven't been recently, and you put a quarterback in there that combines the qualities of the last 2 guys they had, he can move and throw it accurately down the field in a division that's, especially if Rodgers isn't in it, underwhelming. He's got to beat out Andy Dalton by the end of the year. Yeah, I think he can do that. I'm going with Justin Fields.
Max, you're wrong, and you probably should have followed your first instinct because the answer is Trey Lance. It is. I think Trey Lance is going to the best situation out of the quarterbacks that were taken in the first round this year. Look at the organization. He's going to Kyle Shanahan, who was one of the brightest offensive minds in today's game. You look at the structure, you look at the stability. John Lynch is entrenched as their general manager. I just feel like the pieces are in place for Trey Lance to really have a great season. I think it's just a matter of time before he ends up playing in 2021. I understand that there's some ambiguity around the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, but I don't expect Jimmy Garoppolo to start the lion's shares of games in San Francisco. It's going to be Trey Lance, and here's why. Trey Lance, throughout the pre-draft process, was heralded as one of the quarterbacks that had the highest football IQ, one of the guys that was the most pro-ready based on what they asked him to do out in North Dakota State, being able to understand and operate the operation, being able to get his team in and out of the huddle, to the line of scrimmage, making all the checks, all of those things. That matters when it comes to trying to have success in the National Football League as a rookie quarterback. There's always a learning curve that comes along with playing in the NFL, especially at that position. And because Trey Lance is one of the brightest minds in this year's draft, coupled with the fact that he does have the supporting cast on the offensive side of the ball, that offensive line, the skill position players, and of course the head coach to orchestrate it all, he's the guy that's going to have the best chance to start a playoff game out of this rookie class.
Man, see, I needed like another non-football guy on the show because it's no fun for us to come here and be doubly right against Max. Like, I don't want to do that to Max because I know he's going to look at the analytics and he's going to call Warren. He's going to call Warren Sharp and text him and see what the numbers say and do all these different things to come up with his answer. Now, I like Max, initially went Mac Jones. I actually sent that over as my answer, and then I started thinking, like, golly, yeah, the Patriots might be good, but what about Miami? And then I was like, obviously the Buffalo Bills, and will Mac Jones even start? And do I even think Mac Jones is good enough to lead a team to the playoffs this year? And all those things came to no. So then I had to go to a different quarterback, and I actually like the Justin Fields answer that Max gave earlier, because when you think about Justin Fields, his talent, the fact that Chicago went last year, but Trey Lance is in the best situation. This offense is ready-made to explode. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Mostert in the backfield, Trent Williams at the left tackle, who we talk about transcendent talents. He's the second. Nope, I'm wrong. I'm about to tell a lie. He's the third most talented football player I've ever played with. Number one is Sean Taylor. Number two is Troy Polamalu. The third most talented football player I've ever been on the football field with. That's who Trent Williams is. And so when you think about all these things offensively and now getting healthy on the defensive side of the football, Jason Verrett ascending and rebuilding his career at one corner. Mosley, obviously two safeties and Tart and Jaworski that can play. And so now you look at all these different guys and Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan has been waiting on this piece. And I know Jed York came out last week. If Trey doesn't play until he's 23, we're fine, and we get a 15-year starter. That's a lie. You didn't move up to get a certain quarterback. You moved up so you didn't have Jimmy G anymore. And so whether you got to bring Trey along slowly to game 5, then that's what it is. But when you get a guy in who, like Chris said, is brilliant, right? They were trying to talk themselves into Mac Jones because they didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, he's so smart, and he can do all these things with the progression.
That's when you know
and like
you're in
Matt
trouble.
says, he can process like a computer. But what happened was they realized Trey Lance was just as smart or smarter. They realized he was also brilliant, that he could also retain and regurgitate information, that you could give him whatever you had to give him at the line of scrimmage, and he could change it and get you into the right play.
Yeah,
now
but
you
Ryan,
add
here's the
cannon
problem.
arm. Now you add the big body. What's up? Tell me the problem then, man.
Here's the
What
problem.
the numbers say.
If you look at, forget about the numbers. This is what, by the way, statistics are records of events. You can pretend they didn't happen, but let me give you a stat of one, all right? The most successful story of a young quarterback coming into the league in recent years, maybe since Dan Marino, is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, they had a guy in Alex Smith who they liked. He's solid, he's good, but maybe not good enough to get you over the top. Patrick Mahomes started one game his rookie year. One game. Then the next year came as close as you want to come to winning the Super Bowl. A pre-snap penalty gave Tom Brady the ball back, or else I think they'd have beaten him and beaten the Rams, but that's not what happened. And that's Patrick Mahomes. I don't know that Trey Lance is ever going to be Patrick Mahomes, other than Aaron Rodgers, who has ever been Patrick Mahomes. The odds are slim. So you mean to tell me the Niners, who when last healthy were in the Super Bowl, one pass away, a Jimmy Garoppolo pass away from winning the Super Bowl, beating Mahomes. He didn't hit it that time. Maybe he hits it next time. You mean to tell me that team with Super Bowl aspirations right now is going to tell a rookie quarterback, it's never been done before, here, win us the Super Bowl? No, I don't see it. And I'll tell you something else I don't see. The same thing with Mac Jones, because I also believe the Patriots have Super Bowl aspirations. It's an issue of where you see yourself. The Jags and the Jets, they ain't making the playoffs, right? The Bears are the most interesting one to me, because if you're the Bears right now, realistically, your aspirations to start the season is, let's make the playoffs, right? And by then, who do I think will be starting? Justin Fields.
Here's the thing. If you're the Bears, your aspirations are, don't lose my job.